What's going on, guys? It's Greg Dies, and welcome to our most anticipated head review of 2022. This is the Gait D. So that's the name, just the Gait D. I kind of like it, honestly, having to make names over here all the time. It's really hard to come up with a good name. Just keep it nice and simple. The D for D players. So this is their newest defensive head. The Gaits are known for their outside-the-box thinking when it comes to design and innovation, and this head is no different. It certainly was an eye catcher. So quick specs, only comes in white. It's going to cost $119. That is expensive, probably the most expensive unstrung head on the market. And it weighs 5.6 ounces, which is a good weight for a D head. D guys aren't that crazy sensitive, but it's still pretty light, but maintains nice stiffness. So I don't want to bury the lead here. We'll get right into what everyone wants to know, and that is about what they're calling the can opener ball dislodgement technology. So when leaks of this head first started coming out, everyone thought it was a women's head because the way it dips down like this looks a lot like what women's heads do. But what you have is this offset that dips straight down to a very thin sidewall that leaves room in the 2-inch rule for this hook here. It literally looks like a harpoon or has a hook. And so what they're saying is that this is going to either grip onto a stick or an arm or a glove or a pad and help dislodge the ball. And I can certainly see that. You know, it's a nice little hook. It is pretty rounded, and we kind of ran around the office. It doesn't necessarily grab on, but it grabs on more than a straight stick would. It certainly has more grip. And also, I think if you were to get checked with this part of the harpoon, it would hurt a lot because it's a very focused area for the force to be. So I think whether you're slap checking, doing the can opener, it certainly is a very interesting feature. And other than the thinner sidewall, which just on pictures, I was a little worried about stiffness, but this head is very stiff. They made this part very fat back here, very wide sidewall. And since it is so tight, has these support struts, it really doesn't suffer from stiffness in any direction. And so it's a really interesting design. They sent out a can opener check from a player from Yale that was done with this head. Dislodged the ball really nicely. If you watch it in slow-mo, Pat, you can play the clip. It doesn't look like the can opener part actually touches the stick in any way, shape, or form. It's just a nice can opener check, which you can obviously execute without the hook. But interesting to see if we can, at some point, capture any slow-mo video of this, hooking onto a shaft and executing a can opener. So overall, it's a really innovative design, and I just love to see somebody trying something new. There's a lot of D heads out there that all look very similar, and it's good to see something so different. So some of the other features, stringing, you've got a ton of holes going across the top, which is great. They're actually perfectly spaced. That's string the top string really nice. A lot of holes coming down the side, all the same size. They're small and square, and I sort of wish there were no larger ones at the top, so you're able to skip around and make it work. They're not perfect, but the pocket I got in the end was really great. It's not too tight of a pinch. It's kind of gradual with a flare up at the top here for, I guess, the most intercepting or ball knockdown region, which these probably help a little bit with too. They're flared going out this way, so you get a lot of scoop surface area, and it's not too tight, nice and wide, and sort of funnels the ball in. And so the pocket turned out nice. It's nice and high, pretty simple. Little things you can nitpick with the string, but nothing to complain about. Nice heavy texture over the head. Again, good stiffness to weight ratio for a D head and those ground balls. Maybe the can opener would help it funnel in a little bit, but it does seem like a nice scoop with a nice return angle. So despite the initial impressions of people thinking that it looked a little wild, it's actually grown on me a good bit. I like the way this looks. It looks like a harpoon. It looks fast and aggressive. So I think in the end, it's going to end up being a really interesting D option. And again, we'll have to stay tuned and see if anybody is really can opening or fish hooking people with these ball dislodgement technology spikes here. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you're a D guy, let me know if you feel like this is more gimmick or technology you're interested in. Make sure to like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't, and have a great day.